Hey, good morning, neighbors. I'm doing a morning critique of systems. What is a system? How big is the system? How much do you have to understand of what you're speaking to? So I'm going to bring up a specific about satellites this time. First off, you have to accept that satellites exist and do what they say they do. So get over that. So when folks talk about a satellite, a single satellite up in space, they focus on that satellite. When behind that satellite are huge systems and components and amounts of peoples and computers that move data around to provide an output. So the output of the system is weather information in this example. We have satellites 24 hours a day, years on end, that have been watching the climate from up in space. These satellites are measurement instruments, they're communications tools, they are spies, they are our friends and neighbors. So they're there, but they're parts of, each one individually is part of a massive system. It could be a part of defense systems. It could be a part of weather and aerospace systems. It could be for traveling airline travels. Where is that jet stream, and how can the airline industry best use that jet stream to get across the world cheaper and save fuel maybe, or not fight headwinds coming back from somewhere, which airlines do. They don't circle the globe to get to where they're going. They go straight as closest point to point. So yeah, but even decisions like that can change. Airlines change routes based upon those jet streams. They can change times for flights if it's consistent enough, but they don't usually because it's not consistent. So these huge systems you can't ignore. When you're bashing a satellite, you're bashing so many people, so many systems. There's a ground control crew for the satellite. There's a data control crew that's managing Earth-based stations that collect the data from the satellites. There are universities and other entities that the data goes to for processing, so that you can visualize these storms coming, and you can visualize and see so humans can make a decision on jet stream activities and storms coming and rainfall expectations. So these huge systems are just up there and work, and you take them for granted. But anyone watching this, those systems were built before you were born. Those satellites have been up there since you were born. There's very few people that's not true for. So no one listening to this doesn't know what a radio is. Now, they might not know the difference between AM and FM signals, but they know that those two things are usually on a dial for a real radio. But if they have a cell phone, they might think radio is only FM radio, because that's all the cell phones tend to pick up. So systems, large systems, they're behind everything. It is part of these cycles of life and the systems that support these cycles, the longevity of the system's life cycle. So how long is that satellite going to be up in the air? We say 10 years and then we get 30 years out of them, because they are over-engineered and should be able to do that. But the odds are they aren't going to be able to, because they'll get disabled. So we predict a 10-year life and it ends up being 20, or we predict a 3-year life and it ends up being 15. The batteries last longer, or they don't last as long, or the solar starts to fail. Again, huge systems, people watching them, making decisions, because those satellites are telling us valuable information about today and tomorrow, and their data goes back decades and is still relevant to building up the history we know of. So the deniers either lack an understanding or a desire to understand how these systems fit and work together, or somebody has a vested interest in people just being ignorant of the world around them. So there you go. This was a quick one. 5 minutes. Throw a dart.